respected Venerable Bhikkhus and Venerable Bhikkhunis, Upasakas and Upasikas, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. The Dhamma program is about to begin, and may I have your attention and do turn on your camera. Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, and Namo Sanghaya. Wherever you are, may you be well and happy. So, most Venerable Bhikkhu, Most Venerable Bhikkhu Nibitigale Sumitta from DHAMMA USA, and also Most Venerable Bhikkhuni Santini Maha from Indonesia, and Most Venerable Phap Viditadhamma from Vietnam, and also Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana from India, and to our distinguished opening guest speaker, Professor Kailash, Prasad from Maha Bodhi Society of India, the brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to the Maha Bodhi of India, the Maha Bodhi Society of India, and also United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International for this Dhamma program that we have tonight. Today, I'll be our moderator, Bhikkhuni Sumangala, and it's my honor and privilege to welcome all of you to this program. And this program is going to discuss especially on the prolongation of BuddhaSasana by the 5 great reverences, the reverence in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and also the threefold training and loving kindness. So with this particular discussion, we hope that it will enhance our understanding and our reverences in our good practice, and also to bring this Buddha Dhamma to a wider group of people, and also for the well-being, benefit, and happiness of the many. So without further delay, we would like to invite Professor Dr. Kailash Prasad, the governing body member of Maha Bodhi Society of India at Gaya, India, to give us the opening speech for this program. Professor Kailash, please.
Yes, Namo Buddhaya. I am Kailash from Maha Bodhi Society, of the most venerable members of the Sangha, most venerable Bhikkhuni Sangha, Upasak, Upasikas, sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry. So most venerable members of the Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, Upasak, Upasikas, and Dhamma friends. It is my good fortune that I have got opportunity to join this Dhamma program as an opening speaker. Maha Bodhi Society of India and United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International are the organizers of this Dhamma program. Being a native of Bodh Gaya, I have been associated with the Dhamma activities of Maha Bodhi Society since my school days. This way, I have been working with the Maha Bodhi Society for more than 50 years. As you know, Maha Bodhi Society of India is a premier international Buddhist organization, and its first establishment was at Bodh Gaya. The Bodh Gaya Center has greatly contributed in making Buddhist environment at Bodh Gaya by helping many Buddhist institutions to come up. At present, there are more than 100 Buddhist monasteries at Bodh Gaya. This is a very good development. I want to mention one thing, that being at Bodh Gaya, I had witnessed the event of the first international Buddhist women's congregation at Bodh Gaya in 1989, a week-long program to discuss Bhikkhuni's role and importance in the propagation of the Dhamma. I can remember some leading Bhikkhunis' name like Ayya Khema, Chatursuman Kabel Singh, that is Dhammananda, Kusuma Devendra from Sri Lanka, Karma Shomo, and some others. And also the Sakya Dita, the organization of Bhikkhunis, or the Daughters of the Buddha, was formed that time. Today, the Bhikkhuni organization, especially the United Theravada Buddhist Studies International, is more active, taking many programs and participating in Dhamma activities. They desire good support from the Bhikkhu Sangha as well as from the lay community. Maha Bodhi Society of India, under the guidance of Most Venerable P. Shivali Thero, is extending good moral support as well as on platform too. Everyone ought to pay reverence to the women and more particularly to the Bhikkhunis. They have played and are playing very important role in the prolongation of the BuddhaSasana. The triple gem, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, the threefold training and loving kindness are the main basis for the promotion and prolongation of the BuddhaSasana. The organization of the Bhikkhunis have also been organizing Dhamma talk program on every pious full moon days, which are also important for some special Buddhist events. I would also like to mention here that today, the 9th April of this year, is also a pious day in India and especially in Bihar state. The state government is supporting the program of the birth anniversary celebration of the ever greatest Dhamma king Ashoka. According to lunar calendar, Ashoka was born on 8th day of the Chaitra month, which falls today. I can't say that to what extent it would be a Dhamma program, but this much is certain that they would be discussing the contribution of Dhammasoka to the world politics, religion, and law of piety. I wish the politicians and government people to understand it and act, if not accordingly, then even a little portion of the Dhamma policy of Ashoka. In today's Dhamma program, we will be listening to the Venerable Bhikkhunis on the very important aspect of practicing metta also, that is loving kindness. This famous practice is advocated by all. Loving kindness is the combination of love and compassion. It really makes a man a human being, benevolent, free from all ill will, even for the enemies. Let it spread through the hearts and mind of all mankind and prevail peace on earth. Today, our learned speakers are Bhikkhuni Sumitta from Australia and Bhikkhuni Vandana from Nagpur, India. I feel pleasure in praising the very nice team of Bhikkhuni scholars who are the pillars of the such Dhamma program. Some of them, I remember, Bhikkhuni Santini, Venerable Bhikkhuni Tathaloka, Venerable Bhikkhuni Dhammananda from Thailand, Venerable Bhikkhuni Sumangala, Venerable Bhikkhuni Bodhi Chitta, Australia, and Venerable Bhikkhuni Phap. Phap has participated in some of the conference programs of Maha Bodhi Society at Bodh Gaya also. They all are really doing commendable great works. The Maha Bodhi Society is supporter and co-organizer. Our General Secretary, Most Venerable P. Shivali Thero, is very much interested in such Dhamma activities. This week, he, with some bhikkhus, is on Dhamma Yatra for world peace. and he is very much engaged in this activity. United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International is very successfully carrying the Dhamma program. I came to know that this month, again, a 3-day Dhamma program will be organized on 13th, 14th, and 15th. May their meritorious work be recognized by all Dhamma-loving people. May they get success in their mission. I really feel blessed to be a part of this Dhamma program. I am so grateful to you all, esteemed members of the United Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha International. On behalf of the Maha Bodhi Society of India and Most Venerable P. Shivli Thero, I wish you all success and favor of the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Namo Tri Ratnaya. Namo.
Thank you so much, Professor Dr. Kailash Prasad, for representing the Maha Bodhi Society of India to give us this opening speech and also to give us a perspective there of the organizing committee of this program. And we hope that with this combination, there will be a greater and greater Dhamma program that we can bring forth for the well-being of the many. Now we shall also invite Venerable Bhikkhuni Santini Mahateri, the UTBSI Dhamma Program Chief Coordinator from Vihara Kusalani, Indonesia, to give us a speech and opening salutation. Venerable, please.
Namo Buddhaya. On behalf of UTBSI, I would to thank Most Venerable Bhante P. Siwali Mahatero for a big support for this Dhamma program. Thank to Most Venerable Bhante Sumitta and Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana for sharing Dhamma knowledge with us. I'm sure we can enrich our wisdom needed for our own good and happiness. To Professor Dr. Kailash Prasad, thank you for your time, energy, and inspiring welcoming speech. Also, to all participants, thank you for your time and energy to make this program meaningful. As we can learn from the honorable speakers from whom we can enhance our Dhamma knowledge, let us pay full attention to them. But before that, to energize our mind, let us fill it with the Buddha's word first. Let us fold our hands in honor of the Buddha. Arambadha Nikamatha Yunjatha BuddhaSasane Punathamma Juno Senang Nalagarang Wakunjaro Yo imasming Dhamma Vinaye Ampamatto Vihasati Pahaya jati sangsarang dukkha santang karisati. Rouse yourselves Try harder. Devote yourselves to the teachings of the Buddha. Crush the army of death as an elephant a heart of reeds. Whoever will live diligently in this teaching and training, giving up transmigration through rebirths, will make an end of suffering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Venerable Bhikkhuni Santini Mahateri, for that very good starter for all of us to pay attention to this Dhamma program. And today we are very fortunate. We have two Dhamma speakers. And the first Dhamma speakers is from USA. Let me introduce our first Dhamma speakers. The slide for the introduction for Venerable Bhikkhu Viditadhamma Sumitta Thero. So Bhante Sumitta is the founder of DHAMMA USA, a community-based charity organization to launch his community care and spiritual care activities. Bhante is actively engaged in social welfare and spiritual care activities in California and other states by conducting Dhamma talks, sutta discussions, meditations, Pali language classes, apart from helping many underprivileged families and children in Sri Lanka. DHAMMA USA is also helping children education projects in India. Bhante Sumitta's PhD research topic at the University of the West is about philosophy of Arhanta ideal as depicted in Maha Nidesa. At his school, University of the West, Bhante Sumitta started a U.S. Pali Society to promote Pali studies and Buddhist art and culture. A week-long Buddha exhibition was co-organized by Bhante Sumitta along with Buddha. Bhante works as an adjunct faculty at the University of the West in several departments, teaching ethics in Buddhist ministry, fundamentals of Buddhism, introduction to Buddhist psychology, and more. Bhante works also as a prison care volunteer for Engaged Buddhist Alliance in Southern California, apart from teaching at Homeboys Industry in Los Angeles from time to time. Bhante also works with many Buddhist temples in Los Angeles with his Dhamma sharing and meditation classes to help the community. Bhante also is a frequent visitor to Chicago Buddhist Vihara, Long Island Meditation Center in New York, and Empty Cloud Monastery in New Jersey to conduct Dhamma talks and practice meditation. Prior to arriving at the United States, Bhante has been working at the Bhikshu University of Sri Lanka as a senior lecturer in English. Bhante has completed 2 bachelor degrees and 3 master degrees prior to pursuing his doctoral degree at the University of the West. So let's put our thumbs together. Tonight, we are very fortunate to have Bhante with us to share with us how we can prolong the BuddhaSasana in the 5 reverences. Bhante, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful Dhamma sharing event at this auspicious International Buddhist Conference. My honor to be a special guest lecturer here And thank you everyone for inviting me to this auspicious event. I would like to start this program with salutation to the Viditadhamma Sangha as a part of this 5 reverences. Please join me. Keep your palms together close to your heart and recite this Viditadhamma Sangha Vandana to begin with. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Itipiso bhagavāraham samma sambuddho Vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavedo anuttaro purisa dhamma sārate sattha deva manusānaṁ buddho bhagavāti Sakato bhagavata dhammo samditthiko akaliko ehipasiko opanayiko paccattam veditambo viññūti Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ujjapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Nyāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Samice patipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho yadidang cattare purisa yugani attha purisa puggala esa bhagavato Sāvaka sangho ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali karaniyo anuttarang punyakhetam lokasati sadhu sadhu sadhu. My utmost respect to the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddha, the noble doctrine of the Buddha, and the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha. Hello, Dhamma friends. Today the topic is about the 5-fold reverences. And the 5-fold reverences include the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and then Sila, Samadhi, Panya, and the loving kindness. It's an interesting topic here indeed, although it is a little bit too lengthy as well. Even one part of this topic would be difficult to cover up in this restricted time, but we will try at least a little bit. When we say the Viditadhamma Sangha, it's really the most important coverage that we have. The Buddha himself is the founder of this wonderful doctrine. The Buddha's amazing sacrifice to benefit the world is something that we always have to hold on to our heart very preciously. Buddha's arrival into this world is of great benefit to both men and the other devas and brahmas and all other sentient beings. It is said, Dullabho Buddhupado, rare is the arrival of the Buddha. And Dullabho Saddhamma Savanam, rare is the opportunity to listen to the Dhamma. So in this Maha Bhadda Kappa, this great eon, we have the opportunity, we have the privilege to listen, to see 5 Buddhas. And we have already witnessed 4 Buddhas. There will be another one coming in this Mahabhadda Kappa, that is the Metteyya Buddha. So Buddha Gautama's time, we are all living in, and already 2,500 years, many millions and millions of people have already been benefited. They have been able to see the Dhamma. Without the Buddha's help, we won't be able to see the Dhamma. We won't be able to get rid of this samsara. Buddha is one of his teachings said, there are 3 massive structures in the world. One is Pathavi, the great earth. The other is Mahameru, the great Meru mountain. And the other one is Mahasagara, the great ocean. The 11-mile deep fathom great ocean. The amount of the volume of the water is immeasurable. So much water there. The great earth itself is so huge, massive. These 3 massive structures will be the most powerful and the bulkiest things, objects in the world. And even these things will one day or the other come to oblivion. They will be disappearing without leaving any trace whatsoever. Nothing will be left behind. Yet, it will take so much of time, maybe thousands and thousands of years, but then we won't see that massive structure of the ocean. It will be gone forever. Yet, our ignorance, our avidya will still be there with us. And this avidya, this ignorance, will still lead us back to the samsara. And there will be no mercy. No matter how much we suffer in this samsara, this avidya, this ignorance, will still enjoy a suffering in the samsara. So we have to be really careful. What can we do? We have nothing else to do but to strive ourselves, make a great attempt ourselves to come out of this samsara. So the Buddhas are the only great teachers who can show us the path. And we are so overwhelmed in the darkness of ignorance, and we don't know what we do. Every birth, every disease, every sickness, every association of unpleasant ones, every dissociation from pleasant ones, and everything that we have in this life, including death, circle and circle, and birth after birth, we will be suffering in this samsara. So the Buddha come to this world from time to time to show us this path and to show that this samsara is so miserable, so difficult. If you don't come out of this ignorance, if you don't come out of this craving, it will be difficult for us to get rid of these fetters, these bondages, that we are attached to this samsara. So it's very important to see this message, and only through ourselves we can do that. Not only by praying to the Viditadhamma Sangha, it can happen, but also by striving ourselves, giving so much practice. Adhitthana and virya. Adhitthana is the sheer determination. It's a paramita, it's a perfection itself. And then virya, the great effort. That itself is a paramita. We need to practice. We need to try ourselves to come out of this samsara. Otherwise, there will be no opportunity to decode this samsaric misery. We will all be trapped in this whirlpool of samsara forever. So the Buddha's mission to this world is to show us this powerful ignorance and the craving. We have to get rid of this, and then only we can solve the mystery of samsara. Therefore, the Buddha's mission is so important, and Buddha's appearance is so important, and we have to think of it seriously. We ourselves have to get rid of this. And luckily, fortunately, we all have that privilege right in front of us today. We have the Dhamma today. We are in the great era of the Gautama BuddhaSasana. Already halfway done, but we still have time. We need to make some effort to come out of this samsara. So that is why we have to think of the noble triple gem, the three refuges of the Viditadhamma Sangha. By practicing this, we have to also make an effort to follow the path and get rid of this samsara. Therefore, the noble triple gem, the Viditadhamma Sangha, of immense value that we need to pay attention to today. I would like to share the meaning of these three stanzas that we recited at the beginning of this Dhamma Desana. Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijja Charana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi Sattha Deva Manusanam Buddho Bhagavati. Such indeed is the Blessed One, exalted, perfectly enlightened, endowed with knowledge and virtues, well gone, knower of the worlds, a supreme trainer of persons to be trained, teacher of gods and men, enlightened and blessed. When we practice Buddhanusati meditation, the contemplation of the Buddha, we think of these 9 virtues of the Buddha. All these virtues are very important. 24 asankhya kappa lakas, we say. Out of them, there are 3 ways. One is manopanidhi, that is just mentally thinking, I want to become Buddha. When you see the Buddha, you and I must have seen so many Buddhas already to come closer to the Dhamma. We are still in the samsara. That is also why wherever we are born today, we still feel connected to the Viditadhamma Sangha. And today, when Sumitta Prasad, ascetic Sumitta, already had fulfilled his mental and verbal paramitas, panidhi, he already decided using those both verbal, mental, and bodily activities fully dedicated to become a Buddha. And that started with Sumitta Prasad at the foot of Dipankara Buddha. And Dipankara Buddha uttered the prediction, this young man will become a Buddha one day. After 24 Buddhas' time, he will be the Buddha in the world. So ever since he started practicing, he started fulfilling all these paramitas. He was born as humans, devas, and other even animal realms, towing the path and leading the community as a great leader of those communities. And out of great compassion, out of great loving kindness, generosity, he practiced dana, sila, bhavana, and all the other practices. His amazing practice of paramita, upaparamita, and paramattha paramita have helped himself to achieve his spiritual enlightenment. And then at the foot of the Lumbini Sala tree, he was born under a tree. He was born in the open air. And then he attained his enlightenment at the age of 35, another tree, under a tree, the Bodhi tree in Buddha Gaya. He attained enlightenment, open air again, under the shade of the Bodhi tree. And then he passed away after preaching the Dhamma for 45 years for the benefit of the many, walking many distances, reaching out to many millions and millions of people, just walking, using his own foot. And he passed away again under a tree, under the Sala tree, again open air. And this itself is an amazing lesson that we need to learn. He made 3 utterances that he said in his first utterance, "This is my last birth, no more rebirth. I am antima jati, nathidani punabhavo." And then in the second utterance, after enlightenment, he also made another utterance, "Aneka jati samsaram, sandha visang anipesang, gahakarakam gave santo, dukkha jati punapunam. Gahakaraka tithosi punagehang naka hasi sabbate phasuka bhagga gahaputang visankitang visankhara gatang chittang tanhanang khayamanchada." I have been searching for the creator of this world, hundreds and thousands births, births after births. This creator of the world was playing hide and seek game with me. Today, I have found him finally, and no more creator of the world for me. He wouldn't be able to create any world for me anymore ever after this. I have shattered the very establishment, the very foundation of this building. So he won't be able to build any more world for me. And that is tanhanam khayamajjata. I have shattered the tanha, the craving, into pieces. I have resolved the mystery of samsara. I have completely eradicated, eliminated this craving, this attachment, this tanha, and this ignorance. No more birth for me again. So the Buddha's second utterance is the joy and fulfillment of his spiritual goal. After fulfilling all the paramita, after undergoing so much pain and sacrifice, he had to fight with the Maras, 10 Maras, and so many other defilements he was fighting. And finally, when the 10 Maras came, he had only the Mother Earth as the witness. He touched the Mother Earth and did an asseveration. With the power of all my paramitas, may this Marasena, the army of the 10 Maras, be eliminated. This is not a physical fight. It was completely an internal spiritual engagement. all the Tanha and all the Mara Senas, Kama, Te, Patama, Sena, etc., the 10 Mara Senas were there, that he was fighting fiercely inside, deep inside the jungle, alone by himself, when all the other Devas, Brahmas all ran away, that they couldn't help him. He himself had to survive. So he did it. And then all the Devas came back when he was victorious, when he conquered all of them, and he did his utterance under the Bodhi tree. All the Devas and Brahmas came back. And then he preached the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta in Mulagandha Kuti, or what you call Sarnath today. That was the first Dhammadesana. And then he started the noble Mahasangha, the disciples of the Buddha, and he advised them to go forward. Manivatha abhikama, he said, go forward without stopping. He also asked the monks to Charata bhikkhave charikam bahujana hitaya bahujana sukhaya adhaya hitaya deva manusanam ma ekena dve agamita. Monks, go forward, travel around and teach this Dhamma, preach this Dhamma, enlighten the innocent sentient beings, both humans and divine beings. And you need to walk, you need to find, you need to see them, meet them, and teach the Dhamma. And ever since, all the great Mahasangha members have been working on their mission, even today. For the last 2,500 years, millions and millions of Mahasangha members all over the world, whether they are Theravada Mahayana, whether they are bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, every part of the country, they have been working on that in the past, in the present, and even in the future. As long as this BuddhaSasana survives, those great Mahasangha disciples, this great noble Mahasangha members will dedicate their life and energy for the benefit of those innocent sentient beings. So we have to pay respect to the Buddha, and we have to pay respect to the Dhamma, and we have to pay respect to the Sangha as well. Before talking about the qualities of the Dhamma and the Sangha, I would like to also remind you the final utterance of the Buddha. Under the sala tree of Kusinara, Buddha said, Anda dani bhikkhavo vo vayadhamma sankhara appamadena sampadeta. In Digha Mahaparinibbana Sutta, it is said Buddha was in his last few moments, and many monks, many nuns, bhikkhus, bhikkhunis, and many other devotees, upasaka, upasika, they were so worried for the irreparable loss of the Buddha, their great master, the founder of this noble doctrine, and he passed away. So all the other people were crying, all the monks, all the nuns, they were crying, except the great arahants who would not cry because they have already eradicated that part of the human experience. So the monks and nuns were crying, and Venerable Ananda also thought that the Buddha passed away already. And he asked Venerable Anuruddha, the one who was foremost among the divine eyes. Venerable Ananda asked him, Bhante, had the Buddha passed away already? Venerable Anuruddha said, Venerable Ananda, not yet. The Blessed One is still meditating. He is practicing his jhanas and his samapattis. And it is through this spiritual practice that we can go closer to the Dhamma. Learning the Dhamma, in this case, we need to remember certain things. One is Kalyana Mitra, that is association of the wonderful spiritual friends who can lead us, who can guide us towards the Nibbana. It's very important. And only when you make some effort, all those Kalyana Mitta friends will come to you. Remember that. If you do not make some effort, those Kalyana Mittas will not come to you. And if you find a Kalyana Mitta who can help you, guide you, never give him or her up. They will be anywhere still and they will help you. Even those devas will help you, will guide you to find them when you practice. That is the most beautiful thing about practice. So keep practicing and keep finding the Dhamma, searching for the Dhamma, make some effort, make some determination, go forward without stop. And that way you and I will all be able to practice the Dhamma. So work diligently to achieve this spiritual enlightenment, our spiritual goal as all Buddhists, to get out of this samsara. So the first thing is Kalyana Mitta. And then Saddhamma Savana. We need to listen to the Dhamma. We need to keep listening to the Dhamma of all those wonderful teachers of the Dhamma. There are so many wonderful, wonderful teachers who show us the path, who teach us the Dhamma. So we should be skillful in finding the right teachers and practice the Dhamma, listen to Dhamma, and enhance our own Dhamma knowledge. That will help us find the right view. Remember, in the Noble Eightfold Path, the first factor is right view, Sammaditthi. Sammaditthi is like the navigation of the car. When you get into the car, when you go to the destination, you enter your address and the navigation will find you the shortest way, the fastest way to reach the destination. And if you don't have the navigation, you will have so many exits, so many entries, this massive labyrinth of freeways, highways with so many exits and so many entrances. We don't know where to exit, we don't know where to enter. So we'll keep going around and round and round like in the samsara. So we need to find that navigation, that is the Sammaditthi. Sammaditthi is the key, right view is the key. If our view is wrong, our entire journey can be wrong. We need to really find this right view by the help of the Kalyana Mitta friends and by the help of listening to the Dhamma and practicing the Dhamma. Dhammanudhamma Patipatti is the other practice that we need to know. And reading the Dhamma books can also be very helpful. Today, the entire Tipitaka, the Atthakatha, Stika, Tippanis, everything is available for us. With this technology, ultra-modern scientific advances, we still have so many ways to learn the Dhamma and teach the Dhamma, share the Dhamma, just like this. So we have to learn the Dhamma. We also have to enhance our own Dhamma practice, find the spiritual Kalyana Mitta friends, and then practice ourselves. And once we do it, we can be closer to the Nibbana. Unless we do that, only if we keep praying and doing all the rituals will not be enough. Many of us, we do that. We practice dana, very good. We go to the temple, it's really good. But it is like just going to the gate of the spiritual path. We go there and we see that beautifully laid down path, beautifully decorated. And then at the gate, we all bow down, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We don't make any effort to keep one step ahead. Then we will come back to the samsara. No way out. So we need to practice only. By practicing only, we can go forward. The Buddha said, the Dhamma has been preached by the Buddha. So he cannot drag us, he cannot pull us along this path. He has shown many millions of people, the Devas and Brahman, to find liberation. But he can drag us. We ourselves have to work around this path. That is why in the Dhamma Vandana we said, Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditthiko Akaliko Ehipassiko Opanaiko Pacchattam Viditadhamma Vinyodhiti. That is, well expounded is the Dhamma by the Blessed One, visible here and now, not delayed in time, inviting one to come and see onward, leading to Nibbana, to be attained by the wise, each for himself. So this Dhamma is so wonderful, and we have the opportunity to see the Dhamma today, to read the Dhamma today, to learn the Dhamma today, to share the Dhamma today. There will be some eons where you don't get an opportunity to even listen to the word Dhamma. The single word Dhamma will not be there. Even today we see many people do not have that privilege to listen to the Dhamma, to learn the Dhamma. We are so lucky. We are so privileged today. And we have the opportunity to learn the Dhamma, to practice the Dhamma. So thinking this, we need to practice. And then the great Mahasangha members, all the bhikkhus, all the bhikkhunis around the world, in the past, in the present, and in the future, their dedication. When we become monks, we said, the bhikkhu is called sansare bhayang ikkhati iti bhikkhu. They are scared of this sansara. If you are not scared of this sansara, you cannot be a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. Sansare bhayang ikkhati iti. You need to see that fear in the samsara. And chinna bhinna patadharoti bhikkhu, they just wear just ragged clothes, just simple, very humble. And you see the monks and nuns, how simple and how compassionate, how wonderful they are. They have come out of their own mundane lifestyle. They have renounced their personal happiness for the benefit of the many too. So we need to have so much great respect to the Mahasangha member for protecting the Dhamma. Now the Buddha has passed away. The Dhamma is there, but without the Mahasangha, we wouldn't be able to see any of these things. We should be really grateful to all the Mahasangha members, whosoever, wherever they are. So protecting them, preserving them, and helping them practice and also constantly be in association with the Mahasangha member to learn the Dhamma from them and practice ourselves will be the key to achieve our own spiritual goal. So thinking thus, we need to pay respect to the Mahasangha. When we say Sangha, it's not only the Mahasangha member that we have today. All those great, wonderful Mahasangha members in the past. Even one great Arahanta monk in the past would be so powerful. The presence of the graceful appearance of one Arahanta would be so powerful. Imagine somebody like Venerable Sariputta. He's so powerful. He's so amazing. He's so humble and simple. We know his story. Listen to those stories. Read those stories of those great Mahasangha members. Now the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, their lifestyle. Whenever we read their lifestyle, their sacrifices, their amazing practices that can help us even today in all our ups and downs, in all the turmoil that we encounter in our daily practices. That will be really helpful. Think of those great Mahasangha members. Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Moggallana, Venerable Sivali, Venerable Rahula, Venerable Upali, Venerable Mahakassapa, Venerable Anuruddha, and so many other wonderful Maha-Arahanta monks and nuns. Venerable Mahapajapati Gautami, Venerable Yasodhara. You see them, how wonderful they were, and they were able to help so many other sentient beings. Samma Sambuddha in the world is the only one who can self-enlighten and also help many others. And Pacceka Buddhas would be able to attain the Nibbana all by themselves to self-enlighten, but they would not be able to help many others. They were like personal Buddhas, private Buddhas, individual Buddhas. They would not appear into this world when the perfectly enlightened Samma Sambuddhas are there. And The Maha Arahants, the great Arahants, the other enlightened ones, the disciples of the Buddha, they also attained enlightenment, but only with the help of the Buddha. So the Buddhas are very rare in the world. You see, during the last 2,500 years, only one Sammasambuddha appeared in this world. But Arahants would be a great chance for you and I. We all can attain Arahants if we make some effort. So keep trying, and that will be an opening for us. So in the Sangha Vandana, it is said, Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Nyaya Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Samiji Patipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Yadidang Chattare Purisa Yugani, Atta Purisa Pukala, Es Bhagavato Savaka Sangho, Ahuneyo, Pahuneyo, Dakhineyo, Anjali Karaniyo, Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati. Of great conduct is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. Of upright conduct is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. Of wise conduct is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. Of dutiful conduct is the order of the disciples of the Blessed One. That is to say, the four pairs of persons, the 8 kinds of individuals, this community of the Blessed One's disciples is worthy of gifts, is worthy of hospitality, is worthy of offerings, is worthy of reverential salutation, as an incomparable field of merit for the world. So, Anuttarang Punya Ketang Lokasa, they are the incomparable field of merits. So we need to make use of this wonderful opportunity to practice the Dhamma. Now we have 2 more topics here. One is the loving kindness, and the other one is the Sila Samadhi Panya. And I would like to get back to this topic if we have time. I would like to conclude for now. Maybe I would like to come back if there is time enough, maybe giving an opportunity to Bhikkhuni Vandana to continue his sermon. Thank you so much. May you all be well, happy, healthy, safe, wherever you are. May the noble triple gem bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards Nibbana. May all of us and all sentient beings, including Devas, Brahma, be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana, the absolute peace and happiness at the end of this samsara. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, 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 Bhante. Thank you so much for highlighting to us all the good qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha that will bring a lot of inspiration and good practice in order for the prolongation of the BuddhaSasana. And we hope Bhante continue after this to also share with us if there's any question about further question about this. And so next we would like to also invite Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana. And today we have a very interesting combination, yeah. And for the different generation to look at these aspects of prolongation of BuddhaSasana through the 5 reverences. So let me now introduce Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana. Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana lives in Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. And Venerable is a student of BA in Arts, Pali, and going to graduate this year. And since childhood, she's in the ropes when she was 7, as she became a samaneri in 2005. After 16 years as a samaneri, finally she took her higher ordination as Bhikkhuni in 2018. Bhikkhu Upajjhaya Preceptor is Venerable Bhikkhu Nagarjuna Surai Sasai, and her Bhikkhuni Upajjhaya Preceptor is Bhikkhuni Supriya. So Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana, although at a very really work on women empowerment and Sumangala and training center in India. She established the organization, the Kaya Educational and Charitable Trust. And through this organization, Venerable and her supporters are helping the and nuns who are studying. So today, hear from Bhikkhuni Vandana how the Sasana finds. You may now start to present your.
Thank you. Namo Buddhaya, everyone. I would like to Bhante Sumitta here, who gave a very good information and good description about the BuddhaSasana and how should people follow the Dhamma and how can they be benefited by following this Dhamma. So yes, like Bhante already told about follow the Dhamma and how we can benefit it from following the Dhamma. So I would like to have another topic, like we said, the BuddhaSasana. So today's topic is prolongation of BuddhaSasana by the 5 great reverences, training and love. So I want to talk about Sangha. So like everyone knows, Buddha taught that is for Dhamma, for Sangha, 4 pillars, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasak and Upasikas. So we knows that we can see monks, bhikkhus everywhere, but we don't see that much bhikkhunis in country, like in India, not in India. Yes, there is in Sri Lanka now that bhikkhunis are increasing day by day. So I would like to share the story of revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha in India and also in Sri Lanka. I think not much people know about revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha in India. So I wanted to share this story, this information, because most of Indian educated, so they with the language or on national platform. Today, I wanted to share the stories Bhikkhuni Sangha from India. So like Sanghamitra, 1200 years, the Bhikkhuni Sangha were lost. In India, there is no monk or no nun in the 90s. So like everyone knows about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. When he embraced the Buddhist Buddhadhamma and he accepted Buddhism in October 1956. So after that, so many people come to know about the Buddhism. And after that, when Dr. B.R. Ambedkar accepted Buddhism in 14th October 1956, he invited some bhikkhus from Sri Lanka. And after that, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar embraced the Buddhism with approximately 6 lakhs of his followers, mainly of scheduled caste people, on Ashoka Vijayadashmi on 14th October 1956 and Diksha Bhumi, Nagpur, Maharashtra. So most of the people got inspired by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and they wanted to know about more of the Dhamma. So they started to accepting the Buddhism, but like everyone knows that India is a male-dominated country. So like women don't have any rights here. They can't give their suggestions, they can't speak, or they can't give their opinion, or they can't give their suggestions like that. So many instructions and so many restrictions are here for women still. It's the 21st centuries, but you won't believe that in India it's still existing that women should not be higher and should not get higher education than our men. Like that, still they're here in India. So in like 26 years back, 8 December 1990, 1906, the Sri Lankan Samaneris and other Mahayana Samaneris got higher ordination in Sarnatha, in India, Sarnatha. There is a 26, 20, sorry, 26 Samaneris were there, ordination with other Bhikkhunis. And this ceremony held by South Korean Mahayana Sangha. And about this ceremony, the Indian nuns doesn't know that this ceremony is going on in Sarnatha. So they didn't got chance to get higher ordination. The the embraced Buddhism after Dr. B.R. Ambedkar embraced the Buddhism in 1956. After that, in 1964, so many women got ordination as a samaneri, and they were waiting to get higher ordination, because after that they will only get the rights to give ordination to other women, and they got the is like a student, and after student they get higher position like a bhikkhuni. So in India, in Sarnatha, when they gave higher ordination to this 26 Sri Lankan Samaneris, that time this Indian bhikkhuni, Indian shamanis doesn't know that this ceremony is going on, because mainly this all the Samanis well fast and like view society, like they came from there. So untouchable society, the scheduled caste people don't have right to study at that time, or the man, the woman, no of that what rights to that. When second time in 19, so this Indian samaris got the information very late, and after that they requested to Mahayana Sangha that please we need a higher ordination, because we are waiting. Like in 1964, we are some were ordinated in 1964, some ordinated in 1966, 1967, and 67, like that. So after waiting of 31 years, they finally got higher ordination in December in Bodh Gaya, December 1990, and 1998 is also my birth year. So I feel proud that yes, that the Bhikkhuni revival in India happened on 1998 on my birth year. So I feel I have some kind of relation with that. Yeah, and because these Bhikkhunis were coming from low caste and they were not that much educated, so they didn't record this historical movement. Like they doesn't know that how big the contribution they are giving for the Sangha, the BuddhaSasana. And because of that, they didn't record this anywhere. They only speak, and by orally they gave this information to all the people that yes, after this so many struggle, we got higher ordination, because they are not that much educated. So people after, like they were sharing their experience with us. The late Bhikkhuni Vishakha Mahathiri, she said that after we get higher ordination, the Bhikkhu Sangha of India were not ready to accept Bhikkhuni Sangha. They are not allowing, they're not accepting us as a Bhikkhuni. They are not allowing that. They are saying that after the Buddha, the chain of Bhikkhuni Sangha was broken. So after Buddha, no one can give ordination to a woman. So no woman can become a Bhikkhuni. So they were not accepted this thing. They are not giving acceptations to these Bhikkhunis, and they were very, the Bhikkhunis were struggling a lot. And because of that, the Bhikkhunis were lost the hope, because in India, India country is a male dominated. So every woman have to listen to the men. So because these monks are not of the Bhikkhu Sangha at that time, was period of difficult struggle for the Bhikkhuni Sanghas. Almost all the Bhikkhunis from the untouchable society of Maharashtra. They were not educated, so they didn't know what great work they have accomplished. They had made a golden page in the history of Buddhism, not only in India, but in the whole world. Due to ignorance, they did not record this event anywhere. But by orally, they have always tried to share this experience in the society. This proof of which is that some of this newly created Bhikkhunis of modern India made the Marathi book, Amhi Itihas Ghadvila. It means we created history. But they didn't know the author, it's written by the famous women literature of Maharashtra, Urmila Pawar and Meenakshi Moon. So this woman who wrote this book explained everything in that book. Like, yes, this women have made a victory in history. So after that, when they went to society, so people were like amazed. How can a woman live a spiritual life? Because not other dharmas allowing a woman to live a spiritual life. So they're like asking questions like, what kind of food you eat, where do you live, and do you not afraid by living alone or traveling alone? You don't have anyone with you who is there to support you. They're like asking so many questions because it's the first time they're seeing a woman living a spiritual life. So it was like a surprise for them that they can't even imagine that a woman can live a spiritual life. But after Dr. B.R. Ambedkar embraced the Buddhism and he wrote the Buddha and his Dhamma. So most of people get reference from the book that written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Buddha and his Dhamma. So in Maharashtra, all people only refer that book as our main Dhamma book in a Buddhism. But our Dhamma Grantha is Theravada. We know that, but people believe that Dhamma Grantha here. So like we know that Bhikkhuni Mahapajapati theory, 2,500 backs founded a Sangha with 500 nuns, with 500 nuns. And after Mahapajapati Gautam, there is Sanghamitra who established, who founded Sangha with 500 nuns in Sri Lanka. So after that, this chain was broken like 1200 years after Sanghamitra. So after 1200 years, the revival of Bhikkhuni happened in India only. The revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha started from Sri Lanka, and after in 1996, when the Bhikkhuni got the authorities to give a higher ordination, get a higher ordination and become the Bhikkhunis. After Sri Lanka, second one is India. India got a higher ordination in 1998. So after Mahathiri Vishakha, she has established a Bhikkhuni Sangha here in India. So in the 1998, there was a 29 shamanaries who got higher ordination by this Mahayana Sangha from Korea. So there, I'd like to comment some names of Bhikkhunis who get higher ordination in that time. The first Bhikkhuni is later Venerable Bhikkhuni Vishakha Mahathiri. Second one is a Bhikkhuni Shilachara. Third one is a Bhikkhuni Dhammadarsana. And there are 26 or more, but I don't want to mention their names because we don't have that much time, I think. So I would like to mention some points that it is, today we are more than 1,000 Bhikkhunis mainly in Sri Lanka, and it is the only traditional Theravada countries that has welcomed this new phenomenon. It is therefore no longer a question of whether the Theravada Bhikkhuni Sangha could be revived, but whether this development should be given the recognition and respect. It seeks alternative interpretation of rules regarding the ordination of bhikkhunis. So here are some points I would like to mention. The following factors points to the fact that it is possible for Theravada bhikkhunis to receive back this continuous and unbroken lineage they are. So first point I would like to mention, in the Maha Parinibbana Sutta, the Sangha was permitted to abolish lesser and minor rules. And second one is dual ordination rule was part of 8 rules accepted by Mahapajapati Gautami. Third one, as there were no bhikkhunis to form a dual ordination forum, yet the Buddha gave monks this right and privilege to confer ordination on the first batch of women. Like Buddha mentioned, like, I permit you monks to confer full ordination on a bhikkhunis. These are the Buddha's word. So we can't deny, and no one can deny that a monk can give ordination to a bhikkhuni. So fourth one, I would like to mention fourth point. There could be no greater precedence and authority than the decision of the Buddha. Yes, there is no other. I would like to mention fifth one. The Bhikkhu order had died of Sri Lanka as a result of wars, but it was revived by the order from Myanmar. Sixth one, the point that Mahayana nuns have a different religious belief in irrelevant, as ordination is a matter of Vinaya and not beliefs And seventh one and last one, among Theravada monks, there is also a variety of beliefs, but this does not affect their status as a monk. Yes, there is lots of monks who are supporting, who are fully supporting a bhikkhuni. And yes, because Buddha already permitted a monk to give or fully ordination to a bhikkhuni, so there are so many monks who are supporting a bhikkhuni sangha to give them higher ordination and support them to spread the Dhamma in the world. So nowadays we can see that in every country we have a bhikkhuni sangha from Sri Lanka, from Thailand, from Myanmar, from Burma, Vietnam, Taiwan, Korea. So many countries we have bhikkhuni sangha, and it's a great thing that, because if you see, it's my point of view that a woman understands a woman better. Like if so one woman is in a trouble and she wants to share some things with others, so she will be comfortable more with a woman, not with a man. So she will speak freely with a woman only. So like I mentioned before, there is a 4 pillars for sangha, with the bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, and upasika. So bhikkhunis are for I think like bhikkhunis are more supporting for upasikas, like if they have some difficulties or something, so they can't speak freely with monks, they can't ask them directly. So like with nuns, like bhikkhunis, they are free and they are not worried to speak in front of bhikkhuni, because bhikkhuni is also a woman and she is also a woman, so she thinks that yes, a woman can understand me better. So this is, I think, this is a good point, that we should have a bhikkhunis. In India, in day by day, not in India only, on world, that bhikkhunis are increasing day by day. And I think it's a good thing that people are getting away from Dhamma, and women are showing their interest in Dhamma, and they wanted to know more about Dhamma. And they are showing that, yes, we are fearless and we can do anything. Like we say that women have a weakness. Yes, women have a weakness, and that weakness is a beauty. So like when it comes to ordination, like if you tell a woman or a girl that if you want to ordinate, you have to cut your hair, you have to leave all the things that you like makeup, your hair, you have to cut your hair, your nails, you have to leave everything that makes you look beautiful. So when it comes to like that girls will be no, we have, it's our like special thing. Without that we can't look good. And if we will cut our hair, if we shaved our head, and how we will look. So for a girl and for a woman, yeah, the beauty is the most important thing. So when it comes to sacrifice your beauty, so no one is, because when it comes to women, it's most important. They wanted to attract everyone, that everyone should look at me because I'm a beautiful. It doesn't matter how I speak or how, but I look beautiful and I'm comfortable with that, and I'm confident, like I'm looking good. So when it comes to that point, that girls are not ready to get ordination, but when they see a young Bhikkhuni or young, like people when see people to they ask people a question to me, that in very young age you ordinated and you don't like to grow your hair, or you don't like to be dressed up, and you don't like to wear a new clothes. Sometimes you don't wish to grow your hair, don't you wish to wear a clothes or like that. So they were amazed when I say, no, I don't want to do anything because I like this only, and I'm very comfortable with these things. So they were like amazed, wow, like you are very young, and when we try to leave these things, but we can't. Yeah, sometimes we think, yeah, we should do, but when someone touch our head or someone says, no, don't do makeup, like no, how will I look? People will laugh on me, I don't want to do that thing. So they were like surprised, no, I can't do. First they are ready, but when it comes to cut their hair, no, they started to cry because they're too stitched. They said, it will take too long time to grow our hair back, and how we will look, people will laugh, why did you cut your hair, and like that. But who understand Dhamma and who wanted to know really from the heart, they wanted to know something and they wanted to accept something, they took ordination. In India, like every year we give ordination to almost 50 girls every for like 10 days for 1 month. So after getting this for 10 days course, for 1 month course, their mind will change, and their point of view to saying this word is changed completely, because they're starting to know the Dhamma, because they are living with the monastic people, and by living this with this monastic life, because we see all the happiness in the outside things, but when we live monastic life, we started to see inside of us, and when we start to see inside of us, we start to see the happiness inside, not outside. So this realization make people happy in the Dhamma, and that's the real thing. So by doing this training 10 days, 1 month, we are like spreading awareness in women that yes, not only a man, women also can sacrifice their attachment and their loved ones also. But I don't know why people have so much attachment more than men. Like relative, with body, with family, women have more attachment with the men. And if one woman is coming in Dhamma, the people will praise them. Wow, you make so great decision, and you are so brave that you leave your family, you leave your beauty, you leave your loved ones, everything you sacrifice to follow the path of Buddha. So yes, because I'm in robes, so many people praise my beauty also. Like, you look so beautiful, and you really in these robes you you look beautiful. So I said, yeah, in robes I'm beautiful, from outside I'm beautiful, from inside I'm beautiful, because I'm living the real life, what I want, not outside. I'm not finding happiness outside, I'm finding happiness inside of me. That's why I'm beautiful. So this is the simple thing that we can explain to people. If we want to be happy, we have to see inside of what we really want. We find happiness outside, but no, there is no happiness. Happiness is inside us. So because of that, because I'm from my childhood in Dhamma, so I have seen so many things that are not to us. They are not paying attention to us. Sometimes they said like your life is the better. After some time, so it's like hard to express them that yes, really what I wanted, I have that thing with myself. So because there are lots of monks who have supported this revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha in India. The first Bhante is when Mingkun Zetwana Mahaji Mahasi Sayadaw Thangupala Sayadaw. Second one is Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi, Venerable Dr. Walpola Rahula. Third one is a Venerable Donangoda Revata Mahathera, and the late Venerable Maha Palagama Vipusara Mahathera of the Maha Bodhi Society in India, who revived the Bhikkhuni order in Sarnath in 1996. That was what Sri Lankan Bhikkhunis. Late Venerable Dr. Sri Dhammananda, who attained the Bhikkhuni ordination at Buddha Gaya in 1990, and that was Indian Bhikkhuni ordination. Ajahn Burma order can be revived if we are guided by the spiritual and not the letter alone. All we need is a political will and compassion towards the other half, humankind, and fact. It has already been revived. The only question is, can we make the acceptance globally so that a woman renunciated can step into any country and can proudly say that I am a fully fledged member of the Sangha. Today in India, women are ready to accept the monastic life, but still there people are like India is a male-dominated country, so still we are facing a lot of problems. But I hope that in future we will solve these questions, and I hope that Bhikkhuni Sangha, we will see that Bhikkhuni Sangha like Mahapajapati Gautami founded as a Bhikkhuni Sangha Mitra founded like the 2,500 Bhikkhuni Sangha like that. I hope in India we will have that much Bhikkhuni Sangha soon. And by saying this word, I want to conclude my speech here. Namo Buddhaya, everyone. Thank you to hear me.
Thank you so much, Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana. It's very interesting that we hear from the generation to come, and that in our motherland, India, where we learn about the enlightenment of the Buddha and also the teaching of the Buddha. And that's where the Sangha started until today, And also that we heard about the excitement, and also the gratitude of this new development, which is has been waited for a long time, and the fourfold assembly has been established again. And now we would like to open for question and answer, and to all the participants. If you have any question to Bhante, Sumitta, or to Bhikkhuni Vandana, you may now put into the chat box to the host, and please ask question that is related to the topic, and then we can actually invite Bhante or Bhikkhuni to give the answer. So please write in if you have any questions. So before we wait for the question to come in, Venerable Vijayani, if you have any question, please put in. But I think to start the ball rolling on the question, may I ask a question, Bhante? In the past, there are always some myth, about that what the Buddha has mentioned about the declination of the sasana can happen is due to a lot of probably like practices or the teaching of Dhamma that is not being transmitted in full, that will make the sasana decline. And there are also the myth that people used to say that it is due to because of Bhikkhuni that sasana decline. I think a lot of clarification needs to be done as we see from the sutta. So what do Bhante think about this misconception?
Yeah, first of all, again, thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And yeah, a lot of discussions, a lot of debates going on in this topic. But as everything else in the world, the teachings of the Buddha itself says everything is impermanent. So is the sasana, that will also decline one way or the other. So the first 20 years or so in the BuddhaSasana, almost all the monks, the nuns, they were all very dedicated, and their only mission was to attain enlightenment. And in due course, there were other people joining the BuddhaSasana with other ulterior motives. They had their own different intentions to join the sasana. Some thought, oh, it's a good lifestyle, it's a good way to survive. And so they just joined, and they did not have the same intention. But some could even, with the help of the other, influence of the other wonderful Kalyana Mitta friends, they also attained Maggapalas. And then later on, with the schism in the Sangha, many sects of Buddhism started to appear, and it was widespread everywhere. Then there were so many geographical situations like climatic changes and all the things, and then the color of the robe changed, and then the way of robing changed, and many things happened. So there were the countries, for example, in extreme cold countries, you probably won't be able to wear the robe just like the way we do in Asia. So maybe like South Korea and Japan, in China, in other countries. For example, in China, probably won't be able to wear the robe like this. Due to many situations, somehow Buddhism established in these countries eventually appeared and disappeared. It's always very challenging, especially for a bhikkhuni, to survive with this monastic practice, especially if you want to live like a forest monk or forest nun, it will be very hard. That is why the Buddha said the bhikkhunis should live in close proximity to the bhikkhus so that they can have some protection. Many cases were there, but due to their own, I think Bhikkhuni Vandana also mentioned about the current situation in different countries, so especially in India. Those things can happen. My personal perspective, I have seen Christian nuns. I was so impressed the way they were working for the benefit of the many. We know in India, Calcutta, for example, Mother Teresa was leading such a noble service there, conducting such a noble service there. And I have seen many Christian nuns in Sri Lanka too, and they are also very compassionate. It is true, like Bhikkhuni Vandana said, it's easier for a woman to approach another woman. And also you have the mother figure, sister figure, so it's easier to approach them. In the BuddhaSasana, we saw the Theravada countries lost the Bhikkhuni order some time back. But then again, those Bhikkhunis, for example, Bhikkhuni Devasara and delegation of Bhikkhunis from Sri Lanka, they went to mainland China through Indonesia, and they also established Bhikkhuni order in different countries. And then Bhikkhuni order was also established in South Korea and other countries. We see many Mahayana Bhikkhunis in Vietnam and other countries too. So if we have Bhikkhunis in our countries, in Theravada countries, they can do so wonderful job. They can play a great role in my personal perspective, if you want to listen to, I fully agree with the Bhikkhuni order coming back, and I fully support them. Every single full moon day for the last few years, I also have been supporting the Bhikkhunis with Ovada in the Western region. We have here a very senior Bhikkhuni, Ayatathaloka, and we have many Bhikkhuni temples here in California and other parts of the country. Here in US, we have Aloka Vihara, Ananja Vihara. So many ayahs we know personally that we are in connection with in America. Some white American Bhikkhuni, some even African American Bhikkhunis like Ayah Panyavati. Ayah Palayani is in Germany. And recently, Ayah Sadda and another Bhikkhuni from Cambodia. And so many Bhikkhunis are there already. They are doing such a great job. I think Ayah Tathaloka and many other Bhikkhuni, Dhammadharini Bhikkhuni, Mahapajapati Bhikkhuni Monastery, and Brahma Vihara Bhikkhuni, Kachayana Bhikkhuni, Anuvidita Bhikkhuni, Tisarana Bhikkhuni, Ananda Bodhi Bhikkhuni, Ananja, Ayah Chanda, Ayah Anuruddha, Ayah Dhammananda, Ayah Medanandi, Ayah Nimala, and so many Bhikkhunis are there already here. They are doing so wonderful. And when I was in East Coast last time in Empty Cloud Buddhist Monastery, I met one Italian Bhikkhuni, Ayah Soma, and they are all doing so wonderful. I remember Ayah Vimalanyani, she's also from Germany. She was staying in Sri Lanka for a while. We had a great discussion during the Vasa about the Bhikkhuni Vinaya. Bhikkhuni Patimukha, we were actually comparing the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Patimukha. Myself, Bhante Sudaso, Ayah Soma, and Ayah Vimalanyani. So I see them progressing, and they are participating, they are practicing, they are leading. They can do so much good contribution to the BuddhaSasana. I think all the people, all the devotees should also support the Bhikkhunis wherever they are, because they are such a great asset. They can also inspire you, your life, just like Theri Mahapajapati, Theri Yasodhara, and Theri Patachara, Theri Kisagotami, and many other Bhikkhunis in the past. So just like the Bhikkhunis in the Mahayana countries, so many Bhikkhunis, they also do great contribution for the society. We think we should also give our support to the Theravada Bhikkhunis. They also have actually come from other countries which have unbroken lineage. So they have been benefited today. Just want to mention when the recent Bhikkhuni order was established in India, I was studying in Delhi University. I was there. I was so happy to hear this news. And ever since, I was also supporting them. I have attended many Bhikkhuni ordinations. I have supported them. I think Bhikkhuni Liu Phap also was there that time in Delhi University. I have many friends from Vietnam and other countries. So we want to support them.
Thank you so much, Bhante. Yeah, I think all the Bhikkhunis who heard from Bhante will be rejoicing, with how the Bhikkhus and support the Sasana to make it a relief again, what the Buddha intended to be, for the BuddhaSasana to prolong as much as possible, and the coming together of the Fourfold Assembly is so important to make sure that this Sasana continue to benefit, to bring well-being for the people, and to lead them to the ultimate goal of liberation one day. So with this, we would like to thank all the speakers for giving us a very insightful development, and also how we can respect the importance of the Buddha, especially when the Buddha is the one who has actually attained enlightenment and we discover the Dhamma. And Buddha is a great teacher that shows us the path to end suffering. And we should have this great respect for the Buddha as the Buddha is one of the great teachers that show us the way. And his mission is very clear for us to uproot ignorance in life. And also to the Dhamma that we have great respect for, as this Dhamma, the Noble Eightfold Path, is the path that leads us to the ultimate freedom from samsara. We also have great reverence, and we must also have this great reverence to the Sangha, especially whether the Sangha in the past or the present, as they continue to carry on the Buddha's teaching and to practice in accordance to the Dhamma, and to bring this Dhamma to more and more people for their well-being. Of course, in the course of political turmoil or war and famine, there are times there's ups and downs of the sasana, but I think Bhante also have highlighted that today we are so fortunate, yeah, we have this Dhamma, and that we can learn from. There are many great teachers, great Sangha that's still around to teach us, and also to bring forth this Dhamma for more and more people. And now even the Theravada teaching and also the early teaching of the Buddha has been spread to many, many countries. Yeah, and this is the opportunity that we have. This is the time that we have, and we must make good use of this for good practice, to do the Sila, Samadhi, Panya, so that we'll be able to one day realize the goal that the Buddha has shown us, that is to ultimately to uproot ignorance and realize the ultimate bliss of Nibbana. And also it is so important, like as Bhante said, yeah, for the Bhikkhu Sangha to carry on the torch of the Buddha, and the importance of them to continue, not only for the practice and to spread the Dhamma, but I think the ordination for the Bhikkhunis, so that the BuddhaSasana, the 4 pillars, can continue to be strong and balanced together, and they can make great development for the teaching of the Buddha to be spread for the well-being, for the happiness and benefit of the many. So we have a great time actually listening to Bhante and also to Venerable Vandana for that respect for Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and the threefold training, and to live by loving kindness to each other. So I think these are the great reverence that we need to cultivate and to practice, so that all of us will be able to realize the goal of Nibbana one day, and to bring this teaching to more and more people. So with that, we would like to conclude the session by also inviting Venerable Liu Phap Mahateri from Vietnam to represent UTBSI to give a word of thanks. Venerable?
Thank you, Venerable. On behalf of the UTBSI, I would like to express our gratitude and joy while listening to the 2 Dhamma speakers today. The first is Venerable Sumitta from DHAMMA USA. Bhante Sumitta was my schoolmate when we were studying together at Delhi University 20 years ago. Until now, even though we haven't met again yet, but we often met on the conferences like this. And today we are very happy to hear not only from your Dhamma talk, but also from your answer to Venerable Sumangala about your whole support, full support to the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And your presence today is also a sign of the cooperation, the full support to our UTBSI. And our second speaker is Bhikkhuni Vandana from Nagpur, India.
I'm very, it was a great surprise for me to see such a very young Bhikkhuni, only 24 years, and especially she became a Samaneri at the age of 7. And she was a Samaneri for 13 years until she becomes a Bhikkhuni. And she also founded a Buddhist association to support the monks and the nuns in studying. It is really great. We really need those knowledgeable and enthusiastic Bhikkhunis so that we can propagate the Dhamma, especially in the land of India. Before people came to India, maybe especially in Vietnam, you know, when people say about India, they say that, oh, it is the land of the Buddha. So everyone there is a Buddhist. But no, when I came there, I was so surprised to discover, to know that only less than 1% of the population are Buddhists. But in Nagpur, in Maharashtra, in Vandana's whole place, the population of Buddhists is more than 70%. So we can say that now Buddhism revives again in Nagpur, thanks to the conversion of Dr. Ambedkar to Buddhism. I remember in 2013, I went to Nagpur, and together with Venerable Ramananda, we organized a 1 month training course for the Bhikkhunis there. Many Bhikkhunis and Pasamaneris expressed their wish that they will have better, proper training in Vinaya and Dhamma so that they can practice better and they can serve the Dhamma better. So that is why I'm very happy to know that the Bhikkhunis there are trying to establish a training center for the Bhikkhunis. And today we have Bhikkhuni Vandana here. And we can see that she is well educated and she knows about the history of the Indian Bhikkhuni Sangha, and she also tried to spread her knowledge and her enthusiasm towards people. So with this, I would like to thank again our 2 Dhamma speakers and also our organizers, Venerable Santini, Venerable Sumangala, and also on the participants, especially I saw that there are many Upasika and Upasakas from Indonesia and Malaysia, some from USA also. I think that this our monthly Dhamma program is a very good activity where we can unite monks and nuns, lay devotees, and also Dhammas out of the not only the friends in the Dhamma, but also friends from outside, so that we can come, sit together, and share our ideas and learn from one another. I hope that in the future, we can have more new Dhamma speakers from the monks community, nuns community, and even from the lay community. I wish you, especially Bhante and Venerable Theri and all Upasika, good health, success, and happiness in your life. And also for your information, tomorrow evening, I will have a Dhamma talk to the International Pali Tipitaka Chanting, which is going on in Bodh Gaya from the 6th April to 16th April. During this time, we cannot go there, but there are about 1,000 monks and nuns and lay devotees are chanting Pali. And every night we will have the different Dhamma speakers. And tomorrow night, I will be the speakers of the program. So I would like to invite you to attend not only my talk, but also other Dhamma talks from other venerables. So I would like to say again, thank you very much for your coming and also for your attention. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, Venerable Bhikkhuni Phap Mahateri, for representing UTBSI as secretary to give these words of thanks. And so for the proper closing, we would like also to invite the closing salutation to be chanted by Venerable Bhikkhuni Santini Mahateri. Venerable, please.
My dear Dhamma sisters and Dhamma brothers, we are very lucky to have had the chance to learn from the honorable speakers in this Dhamma program, Most Venerable Bhante Sumitta and Venerable Bhikkhuni Vandana. Hopefully, we can improve our life quality and live better in Dhamma. And we appreciate the Venerable Phap for giving vote of thanks on behalf of UTBSI. Also thanks to Venerable Bhikkhuni Wijayani, Venerable Bhikkhuni Sumangala, and Venerable Bhikkhuni Sadika for your effort to this meaningful event. Before we conclude our program, let us once again recite the Buddha's words. Sabba papasa akaranang kusalasa upasampada sacitta pariyodapanang etang Buddhana sasanang khanti paramang tapotitikha Nibbanang paramang wadanti Buddha nahi pambajito parupaghati samano hoti parang vihetayanto anupawado anupaghato patimokhe jasang waro mattan nyuta chabhantas aming pantan casayana sanang adhicitte jayogo etang Buddhana sasanang sabbe sankhara anincati yada panyaya pasati athanibindati dukhe Esamaggo Visuddhiya Sabbe Sankhara Dukkhati Yada Panyaya Passati Atha Nibbindati Dukkhe Esamaggo Visuddhiya Sabbe Dhamma Anattati Yada Panyaya Passati Atha Nibbindati Dukkhe Esamaggo Visuddhiya Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable Bhikkhuni Santini Mahateri, for the reflective salutation for our good practice. And now we have come to the end of the session, and we would like to thank everyone, especially also to Buddhist Society of India, Professor Dr. Kailash Prasad, for his kind and also insightful opening speech for reflection, and to Bhante, Sumitta, for your very comprehensive, insightful respect to the Triple Gem, and also for the prolongation of Sasana, not only in theory, but in practice, in real life of supporting the Sangha growth, whether Bhikkhu or Bhikkhuni, and also to Venerable Vandana for her spirit, of continuing the Sasana in a very early age. And we would see that in the future, India will become also again alive with all the bhikkhus and bhikkhuni sangha again. And we rejoice with that. And to Venerable Bhikkhuni Leopold Mahateri, also we rejoice with the calling of how the Sasana can be promoted further with more and more Dhammadesana speakers from all over the world. And this is our intention in this joint effort from MBSI and UTBSI to bring this platform for all the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis to join hands, join hearts to bring forth BuddhaSasana for the well-being of the many. And to Ayah Santini for her able leadership to always lead us in this Dhamma program, and to Venerable Vijayani and Venerable Sadika for always helping in the technical part and providing all the videos. And we would like all of us to again mark our day that our coming program will be the Global Vesak program from 12 to 14 May 2022. So we'd like to invite everyone, and also please do invite your family members and friends to join us for this Global Vesak program, where there are also Dhamma speakers from all over the world will be speaking during this Vesak to pre-Vesak, to share with us the topic on Vesak as and timeless wisdom, compassion, and purity of mind towards the vibrant humanity. So we like all of you to also partake this merit to join us during this coming Global Vesak program, 12 to 14 May. So thank you again to everyone and wishing all good health, happiness, and continue to grow in the Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.